God's one true only organization, the Jehovah's Witnesses organization, has for years had issues. And one of the many issues it's had is one of abuse, domestic abuse, child abuse, all these things. So, today we're going to see kind of how their culture with the Jehovah's Witness organization, it kind of almost protects those abusers in a way. So, like, for example, we all know the child abuse allegations, all that, the CSA allegations, and all the trouble they're going through that. And it's because of this two-witness rule that the organization has. And it doesn't, none of that, I think, really comes across pretty well to actual believers. They don't really understand the full length of it and the severity of this law, this rule that they're under. Really interesting that they cherry pick scriptures, and in such a way it's protecting the abusers while keeping those who are disadvantaged in the dark. Many of the abusers are people who were ministerial servants, elders, pioneers, people who in the organization would be trusted. And I say this, this topic came to mind because when I was on JW.org, literally this featured here, this first tab here on the left is Help for Victims of Domestic Abuse. They very much pander to emotions, and then they give you nothing to show for it but for some scriptures and cherry-picked ones at that. Really. So, looking into this a little bit, so domestic abuse a lot of times, happens between a man and a woman, at home. The majority of the times it tends to be a man, but it's sometimes it works the other way around. It could be the wife. And they are stuck in this limbo of issues. The brother, who could be, like I said, an elder, a ministerial servant, would be abusing the wife, the loved one, or the child, God forbid, but be abusive. And he's not technically cheating. And because he's not technically cheating, or he's not dead, of course, then this poor person, the sister, or vice versa, is stuck, daisy-chained to this person because of the technicality of right here where it says, does the Bible permit divorce? What is the Jehovah's Witness answer to divorce, which would be a solution, or at least a quick fix to this problem? Literally the first 5 words, the Bible does not permit divorce. So we're going to see a little bit in Matthew 19:9, where it says, whoever divorces his wife, except on the ground of fornication, sex outside of the marriage, and marries another one, commits adultery. So here, as it says in the paragraph, Jesus identified only one acceptable reason to end a marriage. And then the second paragraph says, God hates a deceitful, treacherous divorce. He will personally hold accountable those who frivolously leave their mate, especially when they do so with the motive of taking another partner. There is zero leeway here. You could be beaten to death next to being killed. You could be verbally abused. You could be tortured at home. And you'd still have to be married to that person, that unloving, evil person who claims to be a worshiper of God, who claims to be in God's only true organization. This has torn apart people for decades. Now, I do believe that there are some instances in a relationship where you could work things out. Yeah, sure, I'm reasonable. But for it to be physical, and God forbid, habitual, to where this is routine, something that one marriage mate is doing to the other regularly, or at all really, but especially regularly, divorce has to be an option. I doubt Jesus had in mind that people would be so abusive to each other and still have to stay in that relationship? I don't think so. I don't think so. So this keeps the poor sisters, because it's typically sisters who are being abused, it keeps them stuck. They don't have any choice. They're stuck in that. So, and you could say, yeah, well, they could separate, sure. But when you separate, what happens on an organizational, like in the Kingdom Hall level? The sister is seen as bad association. They say, oh, why didn't the sister try to work it out with her husband? There are even articles that say that sisters who stay in these sorts of relationships where it's very physical or verbal are good examples, because later the husband could convert. I'll be honest with you guys. If there's a person who's that disgraceful, who converts to be a Jehovah's Witness, nothing has changed. That's still in them. You can sugarcoat that attitude with some Bible in you, but it's not going to make a difference in the grand scheme of things. So I just wanted to show you that. So okay, these poor people are stuck to each other in this terrible relationship. And then then what help do these victims have? What does JW.org offer to them? You click on it, it takes you here. Help for victims of domestic abuse. Let's see what it says in the first paragraph. I sound like I'm at a meeting at the first paragraph. Wow. It's still bad habit to break. It says, violence against women is a global public health problem of epidemic proportion, requiring urgent action, says the World Health Organization. The organization estimates that almost 30% of all women who have been in a relationship have experienced physical and or sexual violence by their partner. And a UN report estimates that in one recent year, 137 women died each day around the world at the hands of their partner or another family member. What's this asterisk? Victims as female, but many of the points discussed also apply to male. Okay, that's true. Statistics may reveal the magnitude of the problem of domestic abuse, but they cannot begin to describe the emotional and physical pain that each victim suffers. Are you a victim of domestic abuse, or do you know someone who is? If so, consider the following points from the Bible that can help. Okay, so here it's establishing this problem that is a problem everywhere. Everywhere around the world, this is an issue. It happens a lot in America too, sadly. Domestic abuse. So it's establishing it. What help does this have? Is this going to give us some resources, some solutions, some ways to get out? Okay. So let's see these like little bullet points. Point 1, domestic abuse is not your fault. And it absolutely isn't. Of course, I am no therapist. I am not a licensed or medical anything. I'm just a pizza who is cold. No, but in all seriousness, it is not your fault. What does the Bible say? Romans 14:12, each of us will render an account for himself to God. So, it is not, kind of seeing what the text is getting at. You are your own responsibility. So you're responsible for your own actions. That person is responsible for their actions. They cannot blame you. You are not at fault. That the abuser is at fault. Help is available. This is point number 2. What does the Bible say? Proverbs 15:22. There is accomplishment through many advisors. So, if you feel unsafe or do not know what to do, others can help. Okay, what others? A trusted friend or family member, hotlines or domestic abuse, and other emergency resources. Now, take a look here where it says hotlines for victims. Where are the hotlines? Where are the hotlines? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere. So you gotta go look for them yourself, lady. Especially after we said only go to jw.org for your information. If you want to get to a hotline, go Google it yourself. We're not going to support this worldly entity. Good luck finding it. Don't worry, I'm going to have the website, the phone numbers, all at the bottom, and for victims of domestic abuse. So you'll be able to see it in just a moment. Anyways, when you think about it too, this top part where it says a trusted friend or family member, if you're a Jehovah's Witness who's doing everything like the governing body says, you attend meetings regularly, you don't have worldly friends, you have your family are all witnesses more or less, to whatever extent you can be, you really aren't going to be welcomed if you're doing, if you're separating and you're going through these issues, depending on the congregation and how conservative they are. I've heard of instances of where, sister's abused a few times and she separates and she moves away, and then she's seen as bad association. So then the people that they're close to her don't associate with her. She's almost like silently shunned in a sense. And she's stuck. She doesn't have any of that emotional support. So she's on her own. Poor sister. And then it says at the bottom, other emergency resources can help you if you're in immediate danger. So, honestly, 911. Really. If it's really your domestic abuse. God forbid. You are not alone. What does the Bible say in Psalm 34:18? Jehovah is close to the brokenhearted. He saves those who are crushed in spirit. What's with this asterisk here? Jehovah is God's name. Oh, okay. So, God promises to help you. That's right. God cares about you. He wants to comfort you. So pray to Him and He'll pray the abuse away. He'll wish it away. Just keep praying. Don't do anything about it. I'm being sarcastic, of course. Please do something. Please leave. Find help. Domestic abuse will end. What is the ultimate end-all solution that the Bible gives us, that God gives us? What is the answer Jehovah, our Creator, has given us for the future? It says in Micah 4:4, they will dwell, each one under his vine and under his fig tree, and no one will make them afraid. So, the Bible promises a time in the near future when the home will be a peaceful place for everyone. And this is the damaging part right here, in my opinion. That witnesses believe the solution, the only end-all, be-all, true solution is God's paradise, really. A paradise in where everything will be peaceful. There won't be any evil, no violence, sickness will be no more, death will be no more. That's what they're waiting for their answer. And I don't think they see that this is happening in, they have to see it, but they don't understand maybe that this is happening in their own organization. Sisters get abused. Brothers are abused too. This is not just a worldly problem. This is a problem in the Jehovah's Witness organization. They believe that they are better than others, in the sense where they live in a spiritual paradise. Best life ever. Hashtag BLE. Best life ever. But in reality, they have the same issues. They are in the exact same situation. And if you're a sister and you see the organization as being, perfect, or at least the most imperfect, perfect, whatever organization, whatever they call it, and you marry a brother who you think is a spiritual brother, and that brother ends up abusing you with the direction you have that you can't divorce, separation is frowned upon, that they encourage you to just deal with it and maybe they'll change later, you probably won't find the help you need. That's just how it is. So, if you are a Jehovah's Witness, I urge you, please, one who's a victim of domestic abuse, and those who even aren't, please find help. There are resources. I'm going to put a few links at the bottom for those who are, and the phone number, which is a 24/7 crisis hotline. It's 1-800-559-SAFE or 1-800-559 7233. Remember, it's not your fault, okay? The Jehovah's Witness organization does not give you the solution. The Bible does not give you the answers, okay? The answers aren't there, okay? Please find help. You are not alone. There are others who have gone through what you've gone through and can help you. So, I just wanted to share this with you guys today. I think this is very telling of where they are mentally speaking. They think they live in this virtual, spiritual paradise where everything's hunky-dory, and really, it's the same as the world out there. They have their own issues too. But please, like I said, call this number if you are in crisis. So, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the support we've been getting. Please continue to like and hit subscribe. I've noticed that the statistic is, I believe, only 13% of the viewers are subscribed to the channel. Yet, the majority of the viewers are returning viewers. So it means a lot of you guys are coming back to watch the videos but aren't subscribing, which I totally understand, because of, maybe your channel is attached to your name, so you don't want to subscribe and do anything. But again, thank you so much for your continuous support. I appreciate it. I want to bring to light some of these, subjects that I've seen, I've talked about in my own life with my own family. And really, people don't see it this way, your average layman and even witnesses, but this organization is very, very harmful. It really is. And frankly, it's dangerous. From their mentality is dangerous. So thank you again. Don't forget to comment below and tell me what you think. If you have any comments and replies, this is an open forum, and I will see you guys in the next video.